Doing a quick video on the Tumbler turner the wife wants. Are you playing around? Okay. So for this one, the simplest design I found was cut a 1x6, 2 feet long, and then 2 1-footers. We're going to look to set them up, and then that way the tumbler will be over here turning. Are you helping? Okay. So, just got to figure out exactly how far apart to space these. We're going to place the motor on this side so that the PVC can come through.
You are building a dollhouse?
No, not a dollhouse. That'll be next, baby. Ah! But we'll look to have interchangeable PVC pipes go through the hole so that it can be one tumbler right after the other, different designs. So, figure out. So doing the measurements, it seems like at least I assume, the best distribution of weight is going to be the motor will be right at the end, and then just right at the center will be where the middle support is for the pipe that goes through. That still gives us a full 12 inches, and this is a 30-ounce tumbler, so I'm thinking even if I would find one of the 40-ouncers, that this will be plenty of space for it to be able to stay over the wood as it's rotating. And hopefully the motor works like it's supposed to at 1 RPM. Should have it to where it'll be a carefree turner. Further mucking up, decided to do 20-inch PVC. I think that should be the right length to be able to line up with the motor I'm going to be using, which isn't an actual rotisserie motor, but we'll see. The support, and then this should come out far enough to be able to put the foam on, either the football like I see other people do, or a pool noodle. And then that way the cup should not go all the way. We'll see. Got the Forester bits to be able to do my hole for the PVC. On this, I just measured side to side, went ahead, went centered, came down 4 inches to center. I figured that should be deep enough to where nothing's outside of this, so if I ever want to build something around it, I can. And then I clamped them together. That way I can just do one hole and not worry about them not lining up. So I made sure everything lined up first, and obviously they don't look perfect because they don't need to, it just needs to be functional. Alright, so now I'll be looking to attach these vertically to this, and then we're going to see how the PVC fits through and see what we need to do now. So far, looking good. Already attached one piece, just clamping down the other piece. Didn't even check yet to see, but I assume, there we go. Yep. So, and the board, that's about halfway. That'll be there, and then the motor will turn this. Alright, so gonna screw this one down, see if I need any other supports, and go from there. After some back and forth, the best thing I've found so far for at least the motor setup I'm running, found just a small metal pin I had. I actually had to sand it down a little to get it to fit into the shaft of the motor that I'm using for this setup. Hopefully it works well. And so obviously since it slides and I'm going to have it to where it's in the hole, I'm going to try to center it as best as possible. I'm going to glue it in place, and then I'm going to attach the motor to the wood. I'm going to see about maybe making some notches out, since this really just needs to sit in there and be rotated. And I'm thinking that should be good enough, but I guess we'll find out. Alright, got motor mounted. A rough estimate of just a little slot cut out with the pin glued on for now. We'll see how that does. And now I'm going to look to wire this up to some type of switch so that at least can stay plugged in and turn on and off if need be. So, happen to have a metal box around the house. So, obviously, if I didn't, I probably would have ran out and bought one. But, didn't think that through. Anywho, so, I drilled a hole for what I'm going to use an old vacuum power cord for. And then this is where I'm going to run the power from the motor try and dress it up a little, but then that way I can just have a simple switch for the wife so that it's not a, hey, plug in, unplug to give it power. This way she can plug it in, set it where she wants, get something comfortable, and then turn it on for herself. Alright, I'll wire it up. Alright, got the switch wired up. Staple these down so that, for whatever reason, it wouldn't get pulled around. Mounted this. Got that done. Just glued that in place for now, hoping that'll be enough so that this won't yank back and forth. We'll probably do something else just to be on the safe side. But as for now, got it plugged in. Alright, thing is on there.
I need the red thingy.
1 second, honey.
I need
Okay.
the red and
so,
black thingy.
put the switch on.
Okay.
Slowly rotates. I believe this one's a 1 RPM motor. So 1 revolution a minute, I believe, is just slow enough to where it can be left alone, but not too fast to where you have to worry about anything flying off. And surprisingly, I was afraid that there'd be too much friction against it, but this is actually a pretty good torque motor. I'm highly surprised at that. So with that now, like the wife wanted the football instead of the pool noodle, so I'm going to look at cutting a proper hole in this, getting it mounted. I want to say at least, I guess in my opinion, I'm going to go about 3/4 of the way, and then that way hopefully the cup will be mostly on there. You may have to cut the pipe down, but I'm thinking halfway should be good enough. So we'll see. Alright, so done for now. Have 2 different poles, that way you can have 2 cups ready to go. And yes, they are different length for some reason. It is what it is, but the wife already said if the cup hangs over, it doesn't matter because I'm just going to put a wax paper or something over this, because obviously build up after 5, 10, 15 cups of epoxy. She even wouldn't like on this, so this will be covered even past here, so it doesn't matter. But so this one, obviously the football pretty much comes right near the edge. It stays on the thing. It's got a little bit of play, but I don't think she'll be upset with that. And this one, a little bit tighter, and then this one you can see clearly comes in a couple inches, so this one might stay over the thing, but it's plugged in right now. No, I don't have a cover on this, but you know, I'll get one soon. But now it rotates ever so slowly. That seems like more than 1 RPM. Anyway, could just be counting wrong. But people were saying that some of these other motors get hot, and I've been having this one on for a while previous to me recording just now, and it is still cool. So maybe it's just the luck of the draw of which one you get, but all tight connections. Obviously, like I said, I actually found a vacuum on the side of the road that was being thrown away, and so this is at least a good 10-12 feet of cord, so therefore she can literally set this up wherever she needs to, plug it in, and then that way she has the switch. And then the nice thing about this motor, obviously you see it rotating that way. Turn it off, I think it'll take you away for a couple seconds, flip it on, and then it rotates the other way. So with it being an AC motor, it has the drive both ways without changing polarities, which is nice. Yes, boo boo, I'll help you next. And then don't forget the dollhouse, okay? Okay. So that's all I got. You know, she didn't ask for any paint on this or anything. She asked for the most basic Tumbler rotisserie turner, and that's as basic as I could make it. Thanks for watching. One further thing doing. Figured a carrying handle for the wife. So happen to have dowel rods sitting around, so of course that was one other thing I didn't spend for, but I want to say dowel rods are just a couple bucks a piece anyways. And so should fit just like that so that the wife will be able to pick it up and hold it. Obviously the switch, which she said she wanted. And then the interchangeable holes. Alright, let me get it. Alright, handle attached. And the whole thing probably weighs only 3 pounds at best anyway, so it's not horribly heavy, but then it'll just make it that much more economic, more useful, I guess, for the wife. Of course, not when the power goes out for a storm. Hey, don't ruin Mommy's football. No.
I just put in holes in it.
Yeah, no holes. Mommy needs these for her project, okay? If anything, one thing the wife immediately noticed is that this hole I had drilled like almost perfectly tight. So if anything, I might need to ream the edge just a little to give it a little more wiggle room so that it's a little easier to spin for the motor when a cup is wet. Other than that though, pretty much done. Again, like I said with the wiring, there's nothing special, but I did staple it just so that I didn't have to worry about anything ripping out on her. Same with everything else, even though it's attached in the box. Wanted to take a few precautions for it. And that's it.